So again, it's a very important session today for function. So three more concepts, and I'll be covering most of the function part. And so tomorrow I will cover one not really used, but like one of the important part of functions. All right. So before I just dive into this, let's just do a revision first again. Okay. So tell me what are the properties of functions?
Override,
Okay.
object,
Okay.
act as a container,
Yeah. Okay.
Hoisting.
Hoisting, yes. Which one?
Function declaration get hoisted.
Function declaration. Okay. And few more properties.
Pass as an argument and can be written as a statement of other function.
What do we call it?
We call it a higher order function.
Okay, so that is the abstraction concept. So when you pass to the parameter, so what do we call it?
Pass by reference.
Yeah, function passed by reference, right? Uh, then when we return a function, then what do we call it?
We pass the reference address of other function.
Yeah, inside function. So basically, we say function returning a function. All right. Another one is a scope, local scope and global scope. Right? So if the function is defined within a function, and there is another function which is outside of the function, but if you call that function from inside function, the inner function will be called, right? Which example I gave you for this? Which example I gave for local and global scope?
Office example.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Second example was of house.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, if we take an example of a house, so only the members of the house can access the,
Let's say kitchen or fridge, right?
yeah,
Right. So, but outside members cannot access unless we give them a access, right?
yeah,
Right. So basically, we are again, it's again like something like we are returning, right? When we return function from a function, that means it's like if someone comes to our house and we are giving them access to a kitchen, that means we are kind of passing a reference to them, you know, that there is a kitchen and you can go and you will have access to the kitchen or fridge or something. Who is it? All right. So then again, the one which we missed was function acts as a function as a normal as other programming language. A function also has a very special properties in JavaScript, which is being a first class citizen. That means it can be assigned to a variable, all right, and that is we call as a function. When you assign to a function, when we assign a function to a variable, what do we call it?
function assignment.
Function assignment, right? All right. And same way, in first class citizen, we can pass the function as a parameter to the function. We can return a function from a function. All right. We can assign a variable, assign a function to a variable, and what else? So what is a pure function?
A pure function is a function in which the values are not values of parameters are not changed.
Hmm. Basically, we do not modify. Uh, Basically, we do not modify any parameters. All right, so we do not modify outside values in pure function. And second, in pure function, when you pass a value, it always returns the same value. Given the same input, it will always return the same output. All right, and, and what is the higher order function?
Any function that takes a function as a parameter
Hmm.
and or returns a function.
So that is a higher order function. All right. So these are the basic properties of functions in JavaScript, and I will cover 3 more properties in Java today. 3 more properties. All right. So let's get started. So yesterday I touched upon IFI. All right. So what is IFI? So IFI stands for uh, IIFE. Immediately invoke function expression. Alright. So immediately invoke function expression. So in JavaScript, what just like when a function assignment, you assign a function to a variable, and then we call that variable, to call the function. Alright. So let's see if I do this. If I do the hello, and if I call this function. And I just console. Printing hello. Alright. So to print the value, what I have to do basically, I will just call this function. I will just say, right? Uh, just call this value, right? Can I call it multiple times? This is a normal function assignment, right? Can I call? Is it possible to call this function multiple times?
Yes.
Yes, right? So I can call this multiple times. So sometimes in JavaScript it says because JavaScript doesn't have any private method or like a initialization or constructor type by default when JavaScript started. So they created a new way so that function can be act as a private method. All right, and that's why they implemented a concept called immediately invoke function expression. It's a technical term. Otherwise, we also call it as a self executing function expression. All right, self executing function. So it is also called as SEF. Okay. So in this, what happens? Just like I am assigning this to a variable, right? And to call this function, I have to assign this function to a variable. If I don't assign anything, okay, there is no way I can call this function. Okay. Either I have to create a name function here, something like this, okay, or I have to create anonymous function, right? So another term for anonymous function we say is an unnamed function. Okay. So this function does not have a name. If I say so, it will always give you an error something like this because this is not a complete. When you define an anonymous function, it has to be assigned to a variable. Otherwise, you cannot call it. And it is not complete. Okay? So you have to assign something like this. But if I declare a function like this, I can call it multiple times. Now let's say if I have to load a page and I want to run the function only once. Okay? Let's see if I run okay, I'll just write here only. Okay. Let's say if I'm doing some initialization, right? So I will just say initialization, right? If I write something like this, okay, I can call multiple times. Right? That means I'm initializing same thing multiple times. So in JavaScript says, if you want to create a private method, a private function, you have to wrap that function around and immediately call it. That means here we are defining the function, right? We are creating an expression. Okay, this is also called as an expression. Okay? Assignment or expression, right? Expression is assigned to a function and I'm calling it. So JavaScript says you want to run function only once. You don't have to assign an expression to anything. You just define it and you call it. Right? Right now we are here defining it and here we are calling it. All right. Yeah. So in basically if we immediately invoke function expression, we do not assign anything to a function. Instead, we basically wrap them into a block scope. So this is also called a block. Okay? Inside a parenthesis. Okay. Now the function is defined also here. If I run this, then nothing will happen. The function is defined here. But to run this one, there is no way I can call this function because there is no name here. Okay, and it is not assigned to any variable. So to basically run this function, what we have to do, what we have to do basically, again we have to call it. That is the only way we can call it. And now I cannot copy and I cannot do like call the same function again. It can only be run once. That is what is called immediately invoke function expression, right? So this is the function expression. This part is a function expression. All right. Okay. Where is this part? Basically, this part we are invoking the function. All right. We are calling the function, right? We call the function using this parenthesis, right? So we are immediately defining a function, creating an expression, and then immediately invoking it, right? So this is the function expression, this function expression, and this is the this one is immediately invoked. Who is this? Who is taking this screenshot? How do I get rid of this one? Alright. So this is how we define a field. Alright. In most of the front-end JavaScript, which were earlier JavaScript, we always define a function using a field. So that we basically create a private implementation of function. So we always used to define function like this, and then all of our implementation we write here. Okay? That means like a private method, like a Java. Okay? Whenever we want to create private method in Java, we define a private method, right? The same way in if we define a function implementation that only run once, okay? And cannot be executed and called by any other party or any other developer. Alright. So basic syntax for if is something like this. You create two parentheses, and first parenthesis may you just write function this. Right? This is the kind of a basic syntax for if. Right? Okay. Because so there is one kind of one thing which we have to take care in when we define a FE function. When we are writing a FE function, always put a semicolon in front of it just to safeguard the code. Otherwise, what will happen if I define a FE here again, alright, and if I don't write semicolon here? So what will really happen in JavaScript? If you semicolon does not have much value, but if you calling a function, it will literally take something like this, alright. So what really happening here? Remember, function returning, function returning, function returning, function, right? Right. So it will try to call. So to avoid that, so we write semicolon here, so it will safeguard this. But sometimes developer don't write semicolon, right? So to safeguard our code, we put semicolon in the first before we do IF function. Yeah? So this safeguard our code that anything happens, if some developer misses the semicolon, at least my semicolon will save my code. Alright. So this is how you write a FE, and in FE you can write all execution. Like I can basically just go and start writing it. I just remove this. I can say function hello. Can I call hello from here? Can I call hello from here?
Hmm.
Yes, right? Yes or no? Can't, right? Because anyway, if I don't use FE, even if I don't use FE, this function is defined inside another function scope, functional scope. Okay. So this hello function cannot be called from outside function, right? Either it has to return the function, right? Return the function, then only it can be called. I will declare a function, then I can basically call it something like this. A dot, then something like this. Yeah. So A basically call this will call A, and this is hello return, so immediately it calls the hello. Right? The same way, so if I have this if I cannot call hello function, right? I will have to call from here itself. Right? If I run this, so now here also I will only be able to call hello only once. Okay. Right? If I pass some value here 4, we will print the value. Right? There is no way I can call this again. There is no way the function is assigned anything. Like, so let's say we want to scope a kind of uh, uh, a expose this function outside, right? So there is a way to do that, right? Same way, like whenever I return a function, it returns a reference, right? So I can do the same. I will do return and hello. Now because I'm returning this hello and this function is immediately invoked, so someone has to receive this, right? If I basically run this, okay, it will run this initialization, and it will basically return the hello. But nobody has received this hello. Somebody has to receive this hello so that they can call it. Correct? So I can then again assign this to a variable. So we'll say outside. Now what really happens here? So outside is basically not referring to this function, but instead this is referring to hello function. If I run this, I will see hello undefined, and if I pass 10 here, it will basically print 10. And if I do console.log type of outside, and outside. You will see it, type of function and function hello. Outside is defined as a hello. Okay. So what really happened here basically when I call this function expression, this expression was immediately called. This function was immediately called, and the return value of this, right, is assigned. It returns something with the return keyword and assigned to a this value, this variable, right? Because we returned a function, the function is returned as a reference, right? So I'm basically exposing my inner function outside. Okay. So this function now I can call multiple times. Right? But this function I cannot call the upper one, the main function I cannot. It can only be called one when I run the application. Okay? Here is. Right? So what is the benefit of this? The benefit of this, the initialization run only once. All right. Let's say if I say const user, okay, and I'll say user one. Okay. I'll just do let, for example. Okay. And whenever this hello function calls, I want to basically update the value of user. Or let's say I just want to uh, print it, for example. Okay. So if I call this now, I will get hello 10, 1, hello 11, 1, hello 12, hello 12, 1, hello 13, 1. All right. So this function cannot be called. So this the value of this one cannot be changed. Okay. But whereas here I can call and I can change it. I'll give you another example. Let's say instead of this, I'm passing this as a parameter. Right? And when I'm passing this parameter, so somebody has whenever this function is called, they have to pass the parameter. Okay, let me now copy and paste this so it is better reference. Right. All right. So now let's say if this function takes a parameter, for example, user, all right, let's say user ID. That means someone has to pass a user ID. Yeah. Someone has to pass a user ID. So if I run this now, user ID is basically user ID is basically undefined right now because did not pass it. I did not pass it. If I run this, it will say printing hello 10 undefined because this user is not received anything. So JavaScript will assign undefined to it. Right? So from where we will pass this value? So from the place where it is calling, because this is the if immediately invoke function expression or self-executing function. So we will pass user ID from here. Okay? And this 30 will receive here as a user ID, and then I can basically, because this function is a locally scope, so this function can scope access user ID. And now if I print this, it will save me here. Okay. Now this function will print this, right? Now I can basically keep on increasing the value, let's say 20, 40, 50. All right. So this value keep on increasing, this value, right? But I cannot change user ID anymore. It is fixed. It is freeze. Right? So it's a frozen value. That means I've initialized the value and set the value, and that value cannot be changed. Right? So this is the way we kind of achieve a kind of a private method in JavaScript, and kind of we also say encapsulation in JavaScript. We also say closure. Okay, because this function is able to access user ID, right? And this function kind of a life cycle is already over. It is executed, it is defined and already executed, right? But in memory, the value is still kept. So that we also call as a closure because user ID is available. I'll just say user ID is available.
Sir,
If he Okay. Closure. From that, yeah.
Sir, what if we do user ID increment in a 46 line?
Okay, okay, all right. Okay, let me just copy and paste that. Okay. So right now, by using user if I will create a counter. All right, counter. What is a counter? What do you mean by counters?
We'll keep count how many times we calling the
No, it
function.
basically keep on incrementing the value, right? Based on the number of time it is called. That is basically a counter, right? You know? So in DB, your primary ID is your counter. It basically keeps tracks of the last well. Let's say I want to basically start with 30, right? So I passed when I initialize this function with a 30. Let's say 100. I'm initializing this function with 100, okay? And I want to keep on increasing by 10. Every time I want to keep on increasing by 10. All right. So this will receive 100 here. So let me just first print this. So we'll know exactly 10 and 100, 20 and 100 is print because I passed 10 and passed 20. Right. So this value is 10 once, and second time I call it will be 20. Right. Now, by taking the concept of pure function, what I want to do, I want to basically assign this value to something else. So let's say I just say counter equals to user ID. I don't want to, even if this is a local value, but I don't want to touch that value. Right? I created a value, right? And I assign this to here. I'll just say again same thing. Right? Now, what I want to do, whenever I call a inner function, this one, I want to increment the value by 10 every time, right? Okay. So what I will do, I will just say counter equals to counter plus 10. Okay? All right, and I will just I'm not returning anything. I'll just print here also counter. Okay, all right. So now if I run this, so I'm passing 10 every time. So let's say I'm passing 10 first time. It is 10 and 110. All right. Let's see if I call again with another one. It will be 10 and 120. If I call again, let's say call again with a 20, let's say 30 and 50. All right. So it will basically uh, four times, no? Dividable. Okay, okay. So basically, it will call here. It will call immediately. Call the this function immediately. Execute function expression and then return the function hello to this outside, right? And this outside will I'm calling this outside function, which is a hello function, 4 times with a value. And each time I pass some value, the counter is increased by 10. Okay, so instead of counter, I want to increase by the value. Okay, and I will just say run this. Oh, why it is calling 2 times? Again, constantly. Okay, okay. If I run this, so the first one initialize, then this is printed function and hello here. Okay. Now first time I called it, right? 100 plus 10 is 110, right? Then again I pass 10, then 100 plus 110 is 120. Then 100, then I pass 30, 30 plus 120 is 150. Then I pass 50, the 50 plus 150 is 200, right? So this way, this variable is kept in the memory as a kind of a your uh, uh, kind of as a local private variable. Okay? Just like in your class object, your private variable with if we achieve that. Okay? All right. So this way we can basically either we make a function private, also we make a variable private. All right. We cannot access this variable outside. Once it is set, it is already we cannot change it by calling the function. Right? So this is like an initialization. Okay. I hope you are getting it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, great, right? So this is very important part of JavaScript, specifically front end or specifically jQuery. If anyone is working, right, you will see this a lot. If you see a jQuery code, you will see this a lot. Okay? But if you're writing a raw JavaScript, uh, you will see a lot of code. If you read other people's code, you will see a lot of something like this. Specifically, something like this, a lot. All right. Alright, so let me make it more complicated and let me just also kind of inject for few more concepts which I've already learned. Okay, function returning function I already showed you, right, with iffy and function returning function. So next I will show you iffy and it is receiving a function as a parameter. Alright, I'll just copy this. And I just write a function. Obviously, it's a function. Right. So now this is the outside function, right? And let's say if I want to pass this as a parameter, just like your primitive or non-primitive pass parameter, and we also saw yesterday how we pass a function to a parameter, right? So function is a non-primitive and also acts as an object, so we can also pass as a parameter, right? So in case of if we also, because we are immediately invoking it, so we directly pass the function name to the parameter. So instead of 100, let's say let's pass print here. So what will receive here? What we will receive here?
Reference of
Here, reference of what?
print.
Right. It will be reference of prints. Okay. So let me just call this as a next. Okay. For better, I'll just remove this. All right. So what I want to do here, I will remove this. I will just say next. Right. So now I'm making a little bit complicated. So what is really happening? I call this function. I pass a function as a reference to it in this if function, and this function is executed. This next is received as a pointer to the function print, and then I'm returning another function. So hello function is received as outside. All right. So whenever I call a hello function with a value, it will call a next function. So when it call a next function, it will basically indirectly call. It will basically indirectly call
Print function.
print function. All right. Right. So if I run this, you will see initialize. Then there is a function hello here, line number here, 168. Let's say outside. Okay. Run this again. You will see outside if function and function hello, and then printing value 10 and printing value 10. If I pass this 40, you will see 40 here. Okay. So what is really happening here? So I have this function called iffy, and if you takes you immediately call the function. Because it is a function, you can pass a parameter, and because this function is taking a parameter, so we can pass a parameter, right? And parameter can be anything, primitive or non-primitive. Function is a non-primitive, that means we can also pass function, right? This is what we learned yesterday from previous session. So here I'm passing a reference to a function which is print, which is received by a function called inside parameter called next. Okay. So next is the function, and inside there is I'm defining the inner function, and then that inner function I'm returning as a reference to another variable and assigning to another variable called outside. So here outside is referencing to the hello function. Right? So when I call a hello function, it is basically again calling indirectly next. Okay, and next is pointing to a print. Okay, and that is why when I call outside, it is calling hello, and then hello is calling next, and next is basically indirectly calling print. Okay? And that is why it prints the printing value 10. All right. Any doubt with this?
No.
All right. Nice. All right. Okay. So, so what do we call this? Entire this part, the highlighted part.
Function expression.
Okay,
And then invocation.
and innovation will only happen when you add the additional parentheses.
Right, additional parenthesis.
Higher order function.
Yeah, higher order function, good. And this is a perfect higher order function because it's also taking a function and also returning a function.
No.
Closure.
Closure, yes, we can say that. Closure is nothing but you're accessing a private variable in a class or object. Yes, in JavaScript, closure basically refers to you're able to access a private variable. This is also a anonymous function, right?
Yes.
Right, and also we call it unnamed function. Right, the entire thing is called function expression. Okay, entire thing we call it is when we run this, it's called a function expression, and when we put this, it called if immediately invoke function expression. Right.
So is this can this function be called pure function since we have not changed the parameter?
Uh, yes, technically yes. This can be called as a pair function. Yes, you're not updating anything, no?
Yeah.
The moment it updates anything, it will lose its pureness, nature of pure function. We can call this pure function for now. Right? इतना clear हो गया सबको?
Yes.
ठीक है? Okay. So not suggest me one improvement. Let's say if the next is not a function, then how will I handle it? Print की जगह पे मैंने null पास कर दिया, for example. Then what will happen? This will get immediately executed. Alright, if I run this will get immediately executed, and this will get assigned to a outside. The hello will get assigned to outside. Okay? But if I call this, what will happen then?
Error.
Which error?
Calling an undefined function.
Okay. So this will be why? Why? Basically, I'm passing null, right? So null is one of the data type in JavaScript, right? Primitive है. So what will be the value of next? If I pass
Null.
10, what will be the value of next?
10.
Yes, if I pass null, what will be the value of next?
Null.
Right? Null. So here the next, the value
Undefined.
is not undefined. It is a null. It is null value, right? I am trying to call a function on null value. So it will basically throw error here when I call this, right? If I run this, it will say next
Null
is not a
pointer
function.
exception.
Right? Right? Next is not a function. Null null pointer exception is in Java. This is not a Java. Okay. So at line number 161, it will say next is not a function, right? So how do we mitigate this? How do we solve this so that we should only call if this is a function? And how do we handle so that?
You
Uh,
check that ampersand using
yeah, tell me.
means if the whatever parameter we have got, if that condition is true, then it should be executed,
Okay. Next, this one.
or something like that.
Okay, but will it solve the issue? Will it solve the issue?
No.
No.
Okay, so what step we should then follow? Add.
Put the check for check the next is a function.
Hmm?
Type of next.
So again we have to do
Type of
type
next
type of next
equals
equals
to
to
function.
we have to do function. All right, that means this will give me a guarantee. If this is a function, then only it will call it. Okay, so if I now run this, it will basically give me a guarantee that okay, this did not call this to function. If I run a console here, okay, if I run Java console, I'll just say called hello. Okay. And if I run this, because the value in the main function is a null, and it did not pass the condition check here, right? So it did not print the print value because it did not get passed. So next is not, again false. Null value is a falsy value. So यहीं पे वो exit हो गया, right? If I pass here 20, the next value, the value of next here is the value of next here is
Number.
20.
20, right? So 20 is true the value. So you pass ho gaya, then it went to the next one. And now type of next is
Number.
False हो जाएगा.
number, right? Number
Number.
triple equals to function is not a, so it's a false, right? So
False.
anything false is a false. So it will not execute this, right? The moment I change this to a print, okay? Now if I run this, you will see call hello and then printed 10, then call hello and printed 40. Okay? I hope this is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just remember this, whenever you receive a function as a parameter, always do this check. Okay, do not assume anything. Yeah, do not depend on developer to pass always a function. I hope you are getting it. Okay, developer can pass anything. I will pass 0 and it will still function will run, it will not crash, code will not crash, but you basically handle it. The moment I remove this, okay, so for 0 it will not run, okay, but if I pass to 1 it will run, but it will crash the application, right? It crashed the application, right? But if I pass print here, it will run it, because it is kind of a assuming a happy case. The developer, I'm assuming the developer will always pass a function here, right? So whenever you create a library, right, and you say developer that you pass me a function, I will call that function later on. And then if you don't put a check, some developer will say, okay, I don't want to pass a number, I don't want to pass a function, I just want to pass a, let's say, plus sign, possibly let's say string. Okay. Now what will happen? It will just crash because the values did not handle it. Okay. So you cannot depend on other developers, to basically send you the right reference. Correct? I can still pass here array, non-primitive, because it is because it is not a type of function. It will not run it. I can still pass object here. Okay? Because it is not a function type of this is not a function. It will still be ignored, right? So developer can pass anything. Right? So to safeguard your code with any unwanted crash, you should be always do this. Whenever you receive a function as a parameter, always do this. Without fail, do this. Okay? This will give you a very high level of basically kind of safety to your code. If I run this, code run हो गया, कुछ error नहीं आया, but because you expecting function, and you did not get a function, that is why I did not run it. Okay, so basically you have defined a contract here that only if I get a function I will run it, otherwise I will not run it. I hope that is clear. Makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you define a function here, and you said this is the contract. Only if I get a function in parameter I will run it, otherwise I will not run it. Right? So here it did not pass anything. So there is a contract was basically did not honored. So this line did not run the function is executed, right? It basically exited here. But if I pass something else, it is again violating the contract. It will still not run it. Okay. But if the moment I pass print, the contract is now fulfilled, it will run it. I hope this is clear now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me just go one step more. Okay. I'm just increasing the complexity of kind of in each step, right? So that you are able to visualize the code. Okay. Now see this function. All right. So in this function, we were basically passing 20, right? So, all right. So when you pass a data type, where data or kind of data directly into the function parameter, what do we call it?
Pass by value.
No, password value is ठीक है. That is a concept. Okay. So when we define this to a variable, let's say where a equals to 20, yeah. And then I pass a here. Yeah. So what do you call? What do I call this? Basically, I will say ना I'm passing variable a as a parameter, है ना? I will basically say I will pass passing variable a as a parameter, correct?
Yes.
Right? All right. So if I don't do this, I will basically if I write something like this, what do I call this?
Inline.
Inline, yes. So this is the inline parameter. That means I'm basically while calling it, I'm directly passing a value. This is also inline. Okay? This is also called as an inline parameter. Okay? This is also called as an inline parameter. Right? The same way, here it is also inline. Agree?
Yes.
Primitive inline variable, right? I can also pass non-primitive inline. है ना? Already showed you this works. ठीक है? I can also pass object as a inline. Okay, it will work, right? So in JavaScript, just like you are able to pass any data type as an inline parameter, you can also pass function as an inline parameter. Okay? Why? Because function is also a non-primitive, right? Okay? So just like this object, I can define my whole function here itself. In this, all right. So this is called inline function. Okay. So instead of passing print, right, as a reference to this next. Okay, next is pointing to print is pointing to this value, right? Let me just convert this into an assignment. Okay, so now print is pointing to this anonymous function. All right. So instead of basically passing this reference again, and if I write something like this, then I can directly call a print function. Okay, which I do not want to do it. Run this now. Okay. Which I do not want to do it, right? So here it also printed. Let's see if I do. Let's say here printed this. Yeah, this one printed, right? I do not want to really give access to a function outside. So to avoid this, we write an inline function. All right, just like your non-primitive variables, array and object, function can also be passed as an inline parameter. Okay, all right. So this is we call as an inline function. So inline function, not necessary, but is always an anonymous function, and always an unnamed function, and always a function expression. All right. Okay. So now just like this print, I'm passing a print here, and let me just copy this part. I'll just copy this part and just paste here. So I defined everything in line here. Okay? Now this part, this function part, which is exactly same, instead of print, I basically copied and pasted this part. So next we'll receive this reference function. Okay? Next we'll receive this reference function. So when I call this, right? So when this function is executed and returns hello, this outside will return hello. Right? When this outside function is called, and here I'm calling next, the next function will be executed. So next we'll call basically this function. Okay? So let me just add a message here, printing inline values. So now if I run this, you will see initialization happened. Then outside function was called here, which is here. Okay. Now let's see if I remove this, comment this out. Now you will see only two values executed, right? And if I just run this once, right? So outside basically function is referring to hello. Then hello is called, and in the hello function there is a next function which is called. The next function goes to the next. So where is the next function? Next function is basically referencing here because which is defined in line. Right? So this one is nothing but a kind of a next function. So if I do run this now, you will see outside this then called hello. Right? Hello world called, right? And the next function was called printing inline values 10. You see this? When the next function of value pass 10, this is received here and this is printed here. So this is the complexity of your JavaScript functions. Okay? You can pass and mix everything, lot of things together and create a very complex structure. Okay? And this is a very powerful feature of JavaScript. Right? You can mix lot of code and you can do lot of things in JavaScript with this. Alright? Confusion? Eh? Confusion है I got this concept inline function वाला.
Got this, but थोड़ा practically जब हम लोग
Yes,
करेंगे
so
तो
obviously you will
clear
need a
होगा.
practice because it's a kind of visualization. All right. So if I remove this, is it a clear? ये वाला.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, this is clear, sir.
Right. So basically I'm passing the function reference now. So I don't want to define it manually. Okay. I will say just I want to basically directly define function here itself. Okay. Right. And this function is now passed as a param because I'm calling the function now. So this is now passed as a parameter, right, as a reference. So the next will receive this function. Right. So if I try to do initialization here, and let's see if I do type of next. Or if I print next, see this, what will print. Run this, you will see initialization, type function, and see this function, and there is no name because it is an unnamed function and it does not assign it to anything. Again, it is an inline anonymous function. But whereas hello ko we have assigned it now. This is the name function hello, and that is why it is printing hello. Right? It is printing inline, printing from inline. Run this again. You will see printing from inline. Okay. So now let me just give you console by console, right? So first I run. So point one will be run here. Okay. And now I will just say console.log 2. Okay. Now I call the function here, and I will just say 3, and this will be 4. Okay. All right. So in this case, console 1 and 2 will only print 1 because it is a part of IFI. Okay. And the hello is returned to another function outside. Okay. All right. And now when I call a hello function from this outside, the point number console 3 and console 4 will I can keep on printing again and again. Okay? So let me just show you that. I run this function and I basically ran this. So 1 and 2 printed. When this outside was printed, let's say this is again. Let me just change 3. This is 4 and this is 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I can just call this again. You will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4, 5 again. I can just call this again. 100. You will see 1, 2, 3 are same, and then 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Right. That means this function is getting executed. This function is in turn executing this function. Okay. All right. So this is the short form of this function. This is the short form of this. Okay. In this, I can call print function from outside. Okay. But in JavaScript, there is a provision that you don't want to expose a function, so we use the inline function for that, and that is how you define the inline function. Right? So when you call this next function, next में value pass कर रहे हैं, which is next is nothing but this function, this, not receiving a value here, not is printing a value. Okay. All right. So I hope you are able to visualize this. Okay. So how many concepts I've used here?
Function as a parameter,
Okay.
inline function, anonymous function.
Function expression or function assignment
Function expression.
or IFI है ना, IFI भी है ना,
हाँ.
right? IFI भी है ना,
Hmm.
right? So this completes your all ES5 functions. If you understand these 5 to 6 concepts of JavaScript or functions, right, you'll be able to work on any like you'll be able to read or work any JavaScript code. Yeah, I can create a really complex structure with this. Right? All you have to do is practice more visualization. Right? I can keep on creating more structure related to this. Okay? Like I can keep on writing something like this, and I don't want to do it because it will confuse you a lot. Okay. I'll just say CD, CD, okay. I'll just say CD, CD2, okay. And then I'll do something somewhere. It will basically called here somewhere. Right? So this is the kind of very base structure. Okay. So let's try to read the code standard one by one. This was a all right, let me just come here. This is
Function expression.
function expression, right? Or a function assignment, right? And this one then
This one is also function expression with IFI.
function expression with IFI having returning a function.
Returning a function.
This is also kind of part of higher order function. Okay. And this is scoping. This outside function and running only once. Okay. So function if we can only be run. Where is that? The structure of if where is IFI structure? The structure of IFI is this. If we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, and this. So this is the structure of IFI. Okay. So first part is basically creating a scoping, right? And because if you write anonymous function, you have to assign to a variable. So when you scope it, you have to immediately call it. That is called IFI. If I pass A, if I pass 1 here, this 1 will be received here, right? And A. If I pass function here now, inline function, right? So A will receive that on inline function. Okay? Right? So I can call the A. See this in single line, I'm able to basically create a very complex function structure. Right? So I will not do it. Okay? I will confuse you. otherwise. So this was the iffy. And this one. This one. If you're taking some parameter, right? When the if function is run, it takes some parameter and then it returns a function which is again called. What about this? What about this? It is still a if. It is taking a parameter and here
Good counter.
yeah, I'm basically localizing the variable so that no outside function, outside call can change that variable. Right? So it is kind of a private way. This is how we define a private variable in JavaScript. Right? So we call the function, we define a function, we immediately execute the function, we pass the initial value, and then we internally save the value, and we return another function from that function and assign to a variable, and then we can keep on calling it. Right? So this is how we kind of a locally scope that make a private variable, and this is also called as a closure in terms of your JavaScript in JavaScript. Correct. What about this? What about this?
Passing function as a free function.
Right. We are basically while calling if function, we are passing another function as a parameter, and the next is receiving as a parameter, and then this function, this if function returns another function which is the inside function, and when that function is called, it is calling that parameter function, right? So when we call outside 10, it will call hello. When hello will in turn call print. Print basically this function will execute. Correct. So this way, I have explicitly defined print function, but I can directly call here. But sometimes in JavaScript we say we do not want to basically give access to the developer that to define a function. So we put everything as a just like a variable. Just put everything as an inline. This is what also called as a inline function. So if I run, show you this. So instead of basically passing a function another function as a parameter, I directly define an inline function. So we define a function which is inline, and this next is received as a inline function, and then again this is the same declaration. It returns another function to outside, and then outside function is called. So when I pass 10, this outside function will basically call hello, then hello will call next. It will check next here, and there is a type of next equals to function, or if it is true, then it will call. So when it is calling next, the next where is next? Next is here, and which is in turn next is here. So this is calling this function, which is the inline function of this executive function, right? So it prints print from inline. That is what is printing prints from inline. In this case, this basically can be called only once, and this function is because it is exposed to a variable, it can be called multiple times. Because hello function is exposed outside, that means this inline function is also exposed outside via hello. Inline function can only be called via hello. If I do not call hello function, that means if I do not call any function, it will not call the hello. So run this again. You will see 1, 2, 3 4 5 3 4 5 4 5 4 5 4 5 and then finally you will see. So this is the concept of your if as well as inline function. Okay.
Can you please show the closure? I have one question over closure. Means when should we use a closure or that function which is below, or the concept which is below?
Okay. So closure where you want, whenever you want to keep the state of something intact, both are closure. This is also closure.
Yes, yes.
This
So
is
when
also
should we
closure,
use
right?
the within both of these, when should we use which?
No, here I'm passing a variable. No?
Uh-huh.
Here I'm passing a function. That means whenever this function is called hello, I want to also call this function.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm passing a value or function here. Right?
Hmm.
So both the function will get executed. Hello, when I call hello, it will also execute this, right? So this
Yes.
is where you possibly, let's say in hello you are doing some, let's say you are doing some kind of operation, right? And you want to print something, right? Final output. Then you will call this this function, this inline function.
Means only the basic differences we are passing here one function and there one variable.
Yeah, both are closure.
Okay.
Both
Both
are
are
actually,
closure, but just there is one basic
yeah,
difference.
yes. Here we cannot call it, but we basically keeping it as a reference so that when we call it, we basically increasing the value here, okay, as a private variable,
Okay.
okay, because I cannot call this function again. Once it is called, it will basically its definition is lost, destroyed. Okay? When it returns the value outside, if this hello, when the hello function is returned, it is stored in the outside variable, and I can call outside multiple times.
Yes.
Okay? I cannot call this function again. That means this value is stored in the memory till there is an existence of hello.
Okay.
This counter value will be held in the memory till there is existence of hello. Right? And I can call hello multiple times, and because I'm operating this, because it's a kind of a, there is no var keyword used here, right? So if I don't use var keyword, what will happen?
It will be function assignment.
No, if I don't use var keyword, in
Where
case of variable, if I use var keyword, the
Ah,
variable declaration, what happens in that case?
it is undefined.
No. Who can tell me? In a function, if there is no variable declaration used, so what happens in that case?
It is function declaration, no? If we are not using
That is
it.
fine, but what is behavior of this?
It will remain global value.
Yeah, so it will basically
It
fall
will be
back to its.
hoisted. It will be hoisted.
No, not hoisted. It will fall back to its nearest parent.
Okay.
Okay, nearest parent. So when I call hello multiple times with 10, right? So here the counter value is always referred to this value, which is the hello function इसका scope है, and this is the parent account. So parent का counter, right?
Yeah.
Hello का parent is this. So
Ah,
this counter will be kept in memory till there is an existence of hello function in
okay.
reference, right? So we keep on increasing the counter value, and that is why we call it as a closure. That means till there is an existence of hello, there will be existence of counter.
Okay.
Okay? It is like your private value in case of Java, that you can keep on incrementing by calling for private method on Java. You can keep on incrementing the value, right? Okay, that is what I said. If you basically add all of the concept in JavaScript, you will be able to solve most of the code or understand most of the code, right? And that is why I've been covering very, basically slicing the concept, in a very specific and very kind of incremental manner. Otherwise, you'll not be able to understand exactly what is happening, right? Because here counter is not. If I do var here, okay, right, then it will every time it will be undefined. Okay, because var keyword is used, there is a scope here, functional scope में वो hoist हो जाएगा, undefined होगा, undefined plus 10 is null. So every time if I do this now, I comment this out, yeah, and if I run this now, okay, every time it will be nan only. Okay, 10 and nan, right? Because var hoist हो गया, so basically indirectly this is saying ऐसा. ठीक है ऐसा, because it is the variable declared undefined हो गया, undefined plus 10 is nan. Next time I call this function again outside to again it is where, because now variable is locally declared again it will basically be nan, right? The moment I remove this keyword, because no keyword is no variable declaration used, it will basically fall back to its
Parent.
nearest parent,
Nearest parent.
right? Nearest parent किसका ये फंक्शन है ना,
हम्म.
ठीक है, जो एग्जीक्यूट
Outside.
करके खत्म हो गया है, ठीक है,
हाँ.
जिसका लाइफ साइकिल खत्म हो गया एग्जीक्यूट करके, बट इट इज होल्डिंग, ठीक है, इट्स लाइक समथिंग लाइक दिस लाइन ना, इट्स लाइक अ विल, ठीक है, जायदाद है जो बोलते हैं ना जिसको, so it is there, function is dead, function is finished, but the value this variable it is holding till there is a existence of a hello function, देखिए है ना यहाँ पे, मैंने उसको यहाँ पे रिटर्न किया ना वेरिएबल में, ठीक है, it is holding hello function, right? Till it is holding hello function, this counter value will be kept in memory, right? Now if I keep on running this, it will basically keep on incrementing by 10. I hope you are getting it. Clear हुआ ये?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, so this completes the entire ES5 functions, right? Okay, so once you practice this and revise this, you'll be able to work on any JavaScript, right? So one last concept of function is from ES6. There is only one small introduction was added in one small change was added in ES6. So there is one issue with ES5 which will I will cover next week when I cover object, when I start with object. Okay, why it is that? Right? So I'll just show you what is that difference. Right? So in ES5, in normally we declare function using this, right? ये हमारा function का declaration होता है ना. I just say है a, right? है ना? And then we have a, and this one is
Function expression.
Function assignment.
Function assignment, right? Expression and assignment, right? Right. So these are from ES5. ES6 में क्या किया है? ES6 में they say you do not have a declaration. In ES6 you do not have function declaration. You only have a function expression or function assignment, right? So ES5 says that you do not have to write a function keyword. Okay? You do not have to write a function keyword. Instead, what you write? You write. Instead, basically, you define a function instead of function keyword. What you write? Parenthesis, and you write a arrow. This is how you write a function in ES6. This is called as an arrow function. Okay? This is called as an arrow function. So if I do console here, I'll just say arrow. Note. I did not call it. Arrow, right? This is how you define a function in ES6. This is called as an arrow function. So arrow functions are always function expression or function assignment. It cannot be function declaration because function declaration always needs a function keyword. Alright? Okay? That means arrow function cannot get hoisted. I hope that is clear now.
Yes, yes.
Why? Give me the
If
reason.
it cannot be function declaration, so how can it be hosted?
So what happens in case of function assignment?
Just the var variable
Right?
is.
So again, in this case, var will get hoisted, you know, but not the declaration or expression part. Assignment or expression part. Okay? So in ES6, it does not get hoisted.
Here it is assignment, so how it is going to get hoisted?
No, not get hoisted, no. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I thought
But var keyword will get hoisted.
okay.
Variable anyway will get hoisted, no?
Okay, variable will get hosted. Okay.
Variable get hoisted. In case of your this assignment also, no. In case of assignment also, you have your function variable get hoisted, but function did not get hoisted.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
That's true.
So same with ES6 also. We don't write function keyword. We write parenthesis and arrow. This is called as arrow function. Okay. So Arrow function भी exactly same होता है. Everything what you have learned in ES5 concept applies here as well. Alright? So only difference being the arrow. ठीक है?
A braces is used for passing values in it, sir.
Sorry,
Where b is equal to brace.
this
No. Yeah, that is used for passing
parameter.
parameters. Okay.
Parameter, right?
Okay.
So parameter, and then I will just say parameter. Okay, I'll print
Okay.
here. It will say print 10. Okay, I keep on calling it
Okay.
20, 40, 50. Okay, exactly same, right? It will print the value. Okay. All right. So in arrow function, what they say? If you have only single parameter, okay. If you have only single parameter, then in that case, you do not need to basically put a parenthesis. You just say this. If the function is taking parameter, then you do not have to put. But if it is not taking any parameter, then you have to put parenthesis to identify it as arrow function, right? So first is you write arrow function like this. Let's see if I write a. This is the arrow function a. Yeah. Okay. This is how basically you define arrow function. Here I'm passing a parameter to a function. So basically I pass a, you define a parameter here and I pass a parameter. Alright. So when I pass a parameter to a function, single parameter to a function, right? So ES6 says you do not have to write a parenthesis. It will still work. Okay. So this is kind of a shortcut. Okay. Arrow 10 and no param. I did not call A, so let me just call A also. Okay. Arrow 8, 10 and no param, right? Okay. The moment I basically want to pass a multiple parameter. Okay. P2. Now here it will say you have to mandatorily basically define a parenthesis because function is not able to identify where it is starting and where it is ending. Okay. So now in this case also, JavaScript does not basically enforce you to pass the exact number of parameters. So if I pass the param into t, okay, I run this, you see, no param था यहाँ पे 2 param आया, right? यहाँ पे just see हिंदी okay. So run this, we'll see arrow a, arrow 10, then arrow no param, and then arrow indeed in the arrow function, right? So here I did not pass second parameter. Okay, it will still work. You can also pass second parameter here again. Let's say pass 30, and I print here 30. I can pass it and then I cannot use it. It will still work. Then I can use it here. Let's say I've used P2. I can just see the printed the 30, right? Same way, right? Just like I passed this, I can pass non-primitive as well. Just comment this out. I can pass non-primitive as well, so I'll just say E, and here I will just say first parameter is an empty array. Okay, and we will say 30. I printed there, I will pass the value. Alright. Now if I pass 1, 2, 3. Okay. It will receive the value as array. Okay, and same way because I am able to pass a non-primitive, I can also pass, able to pass array, I can also pass object as well. Okay. Just pass key equals to 1, I can just run this. Okay. I will be F, just run this, right? Arrow and arrow and array and arrow and object. Alright. Right. So I'm able again same way I'm able to pass non-primitive, so I can also pass a function as well, right? Okay. So what do we call this? The way I'm passing this parameter, what do we call this?
Inline parameter.
Inline parameter, right? ठीक है. So again I'll just go and copy this and let's say change this to G. Alright. Same with the variable, I can also pass a function. Here I'm passing another function. And I'll just say console.log. I'll just say here call from arrow inside arrow function. Okay. So because I'm passing a parameter to a G function, so P parameter will receive a function, this inline function. So what I will do, well, I'll just do it simply. I will just call this function arrow and call this function. Okay. Now if I run this, it will basically print two lines. So I'll just remove this one. The first function which basically says arrow and function, and this then param is called. Param is basically this function. It called this function called from inside arrow function. Correct. So here it is a normal function, right? Okay. I can also pass the arrow function as well. I do h. Right. So instead of writing a function keyword, I will just say arrow function here. Right. Now, here is h function, which is taking a parameter. So I'm passing a parameter as arrow function. Again, I run this. AC arrow function and then call from inside arrow function to an arrow function. Correct? So everything remains the same, only the small syntax change. Okay? And why this syntax change? I will be covering on next week when I cover object. Okay? When I take over when I start object. Okay? So again, it is also said as this is the kind of a shorthand function notation. Okay? I hope this is clear. Any doubt?
Yes, yes.
Any doubt? Anyone else? Okay. The same way, okay. Let me just continue with this one only. I'll just cover everything which I've covered from function part. Okay. So in H, I have I have I this one. Okay. All right. So here, what I want to do, I don't want to basically. I'll just say const fn equals to say then I'm returning function. Let's see if I do not need anything because it's not. All right. So what will happen now? What will be the output of I? What will be the output of I?
Reference of function fn.
Yes. So basically, when I call I, right? So this is not a if function. This is a normal definition. Normal arrow function definition, right? So this is same as this. If you write something like this, I remove this arrow. Same as this, right? This is a normal function. It is returning a reference of another function to I. So basically, so when I call I is returning a reference to another function. So output will be a reference to this inner function. Okay? So if I print this, okay, we will say output function and the function. Correct? The function name is fn. Let's say if I say if I call this to inner fn, it is inner fn, right? Right. So this is with a normal function. I can basically exactly do this with arrow function. It will exactly run this. Because output is again a function, I can also call output. है ना? Call it. कॉल कर सकता हूँ कि नहीं?
Yes.
I can call it, right? So output made is a function, so I called it. So this inner function was called. Inner function was again an arrow function. ठीक है? So exactly same as function. Here, but the syntax has changed. Right? So you just practice those ES5 functions. ES6 function में all you have to do is change the function keyword with the arrow. That's it. Everything remains the same. Higher order function का concept भी वही है. Even if का concept भी same है. Right? I can just do if also for this. I can do this. I can do this. I can run this also. Okay. All right. So this completes the entire function part in JavaScript. Okay. So tomorrow I will be covering function prototype, which is not prototype, normal prototype, object prototype. Okay. All built-in prototypes. How it is, how JavaScript use different class methods. We do not have a class. I'm just referencing it as a class, so you're able to relate it. So any question?
Sir, while working today, I came across asynchronous function. So what is it?
छोड़ दो. That is ES6.
Okay.
That is ES6. Possibly last day I will tell you.
Okay, thank you.
That is a very advanced level of JavaScript. Anyone else?